platforms kind of gave everybody a bit of a voice, but it kind of gave everybody that template. Is that a fair trade? Was that a fair trade?
I mean, what are we trading with, right?
Yeah. I mean, it feels like platforms kind of gave that kind of factory mindset, like this works, let's keep doing this, like, and everything's kind of linear in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe what we gave away is more of that play, more of that exploration. Was it a good thing? Was it a bad thing? Did we need to do it to get to where we are today?
I mean, the main thing that the platforms give you, I think, as creator is distribution. And distribution, at some point, that's what you want, like, or at least that's what a lot of people aspire to have, right? Like if you do amazing work but no one can see it, yeah, that works for some people, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of folks that probably offline are amazing artists that never get their work published or never put their work up in a gallery or whatever, and they're totally fine in their own little bubble of just creating. There's a lot of that happening. And I think that also still happens on the internet today, but most people want some distribution and want other people to see their creation.
Yeah. There's something, we're in Austin, Texas right now, and kind of the catchphrase for Austin is keep Austin weird.
Yeah.
So yes, it's a big city, it's a metropolitan city, it's growing, but there's still lots of pockets, especially here in downtown Austin, that are funky, that are strange, that are weird. Like, why is there a bar inside of that boot store? Like, it smells like leather and whiskey. That's kind of cool, but strange and weird. I can buy a hat and a banana. Everything's kind of weird.
Water looks like
the Texas
beer.
water you're drinking looks like malt liquor from 1987. Like, there's something about it that keeps it, kind of roots and anchors it to make it kind of unique. And I'm just wondering if that trade-off, yes, we all want distribution. We all want to get traction on our work, to get seen. But does that change our own algorithm in our mind? Does it maybe dull the creative edges?
Possibly. Yeah, that's a good question. It's a tough one to answer. I think like if you mix in AI again, the easier it becomes to generate work. The harder it becomes to be critical of what is good work. There's like something interesting there, I feel, as well. Like if you lower the effort it takes to achieve a certain result, the quality of that result and like your own effort that goes into it, like those things are also, we should also like take into consideration. So a template's a good starting point, but what you do with the template afterwards is what is going to make it really great work that you are very proud of. I feel the same with AI. I feel, you can do really great work on a platform. I follow accounts that do really interesting stuff just posting on X, but it matters like what are you putting together and how do you put it out there? Yeah,
I've been playing with Suno, making music, and I'm a musician from back in the day. And
what
Suno is like, you can AI generate and prompt music into existence.
Okay.
Feed it your lyrics, feed it some styles, tell it what you want, and within 60 seconds it creates a song for you, kind of thing.
Is it good?
It's pretty good. It's pretty insane. A lot of musicians are using it right now, not to generate their music, but to create demos to, get approval if they want to get like licensing on TV shows, or maybe send it as a songwriter to a musician. Here's a great song, check it out, because the production quality is super high. But I've been playing music for a long time. When my kids were little, I would write songs. I would play songs for them, and they just thought it was the coolest thing. In the last 6 months, not because I'm older and they're older and I'm cringe to them because they're teenagers, but I showed them some stuff I created with Suno, with AI. Now, every song I bring to them, it seems like it's cheaper to them. It seems like they're less impressed by it. Because even though I'm writing the song, arranging the song, and then loading it up in Suno to have it highly produced, they still go, yeah, that's AI though.
Yeah.
So their minds say that's cheaper than if you would just whip out an acoustic guitar and play it for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can see that. I mean, like, sort of what I'm trying to get at is that I feel this way about, so it's easy to critique work if you haven't really participated in the creation of that work.
Yeah.
Right. And this happens a lot with, it's easy to critique a product if you haven't like participated in the creation of that thing, or easy to critique a website or a song or a movie. Only if you start to really get involved and try to put your own spin on it do you realize how hard it is to create something that's good.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to make a good song. everyone can learn how to play the guitar, and most people can maybe with effort become a good guitar player, but it doesn't make you great
Right.
person that makes music.
Right. Okay.
And so with the effort comes an extra understanding, I feel, of when something is good. And this is sort of like I'm trying to get at the taste discussion that's on the internet right now.
Yeah.
It's like I feel that a missing component of that conversation is, well, the effort that goes into building something is what gives you an understanding of when it's good or not good.
Yeah.
Right? It gives you the ability to say, now that I've put in all this work into building this product, now I understand what makes a good product, and it's easier for me to say this is a good product and that's a not good product, or
Right.
that's a bad product. Probably the same with, I'm not a musician, but as a non-musician, let's say I listen to 10 songs, I can say like, oh, based on me not being a musician, I can rate them based on what I hear.
Right.
But if you play the guitar, you listen with a very different ear to the same music.
Certain songs will stand out to me more because I'm going, that riff is very impressive.
Exactly.
That specific instrument, the way he's playing it is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's something about, we call it, everyone's talking about it like taste, but I think what you're talking about is we should just call it curating your design eye. Do you have an eye for design? And you can only do that through doing.